Goldylocks Productions broadcasts universal cosmic frequencies that unlock, awaken, and expand the consciousness of our worldwide viewers and listeners. Enjoy this Goldylocks Productions presentation of the Stacey and Company show. Stacey Ericson channels messages from your higher self and other realms. Connect with your own unicorn and dragon. Step into this magical realm now.
Hi everyone, I'm Stacey Ericson. So excited to be here today. The show today is going to be so much fun. There are tons and tons of beings that want to talk with us today, and it's going to be so much fun. So thank you for joining me today. I always say that over and over again. So over the past few years, I've become an inspirational medium and animal intuitive, bringing connection to your higher self while delivering messages from the other realms. And today I'm delivering messages from other beings as well. So today our show is about the star people that we are soon going to meet, or so they say, which is really fun. And so they have some messages and some ideas for us to talk about with them today. So I'm really, really excited about this whole show today. Now, next week, I think, because we talked about this in the past, that I'm not sure what each show is about until, basically the day of the show, because these beings do come in and talk with me about, what they want and who wants to be on the show and all of that kind of stuff. So the show was based on learning about, the other realms and the natural world, and, and then everything in between with, today, the star people. So it's really, really interesting how this show is evolving, and having a blast doing it, by the way, and learning so much from, the other realms and the natural world. So next week, next week I won't be here because it's Thanksgiving weekend, but the week after, we'll be talking to dolphins. Now, the dolphins are multidimensional, meaning that they can travel all over, and they're actually highly, highly, highly intelligent. It turns out that they may even be more intelligent than us. And so they really have a lot of messages, and they want to talk about some things because this is like pertaining to our future. And so I can't wait for that show too. It's going to be really interesting. I have to get the information before we move into it. But anyway, it's going to be really, really cool. So I'm really excited about that show too. So today's show, we have 3 different star people. Now we call them star people because it's just a nicer way of saying that they're beautiful beings from another world, the stars that are out there and up above us that we see. And the aliens, they don't like that terminology very much. It's more of a slang terminology for them, kind of like just where it's just not as, loving. So when you do speak with them or you do talk with them, they do like to be called star people, just so you know, it's a little more loving. I'm not sure if you've all ever had any experiences with seeing, these UFOs or any ETs of any kind or star people of any kind. I have been super, super, super lucky in my life to have communicated with them as well as see them in real time, real life. So we'll start off with a story, because I love stories. And I was 16 years old, and I was driving my CRX. I don't know if y'all know what that is, the Honda CRX, which I absolutely love so much. It was so much fun. And I had 2 friends with me. One had to sit in the back. There's no back seats in the CRX, so she had to lean forward. It's really kind of cool. And then, so I had 2 friends with me, and we were sitting in the CRX, and we were at a light. And it was late at night. It was, I think it was right around 10 o'clock, because I was 16. And so we were out, just driving around, because that's what you do when you're 16. And we were sitting at a stoplight, and off over Tuttle Avenue and 27th Street, which is in Sarasota here in town, because this is where I grew up, there was off on the northeast corner was a UFO. Now the UFO was, I don't know, it had to be the size of at least 3 houses, just 3 very large houses, or just a huge, gigantic, mansion. And it was hovering in the sky, probably I would say 150 feet. So it wasn't that far up in the sky when we saw this. Now it looked just like a regular saucer, you know, the silver saucers that you see on TV. And this is back in 1986 that this happened. I know I'm showing my age now, but in 1986. And so the saucer was a silver metal looking saucer. And then it had the little windows underneath. It was a very typical UFO that you would normally draw. And so it was really, really, really interesting that that this thing popped in. So anyway, so it was sitting there, and it was kind of strange because we were sitting at the light, and then all of a sudden we looked up and it was already there. We didn't see it arrive. So we sat there through 5 red lights, you guys. Now, I'm not sure how much time that is. I just know it is ample enough time to, recognize that there is an object in the sky and that it's not our imaginations. So anyway, so we sat there for through 5 red lights and 5 green lights. And I just remember thinking, nobody is coming up behind us. This is so bizarre because I was the one that was driving. And we were all just kind of looking out the window, out through the dashboard window or the front window, and just staring in there. And all of us, like, our hair on our necks were up, and we had goosebumps and everything, and just silence in the car. The radio was playing, but silence. And so then all of a sudden the UFO started to spin, and then it spun and spun and spun, and then it got faster and faster and faster, and then it just kind of took off right to the right of the car out towards the window, towards the moon. And the moon at that time was a full moon, which was really kind of ironic and fun at the same time. But I've never seen anything like it. I mean, when it did spin, it took off just like in the movies. It was like it was there and then it was gone within seconds. There was no, it didn't take it a long time to disappear. It was like absolutely just gone and basically just seemed to evaporate into the air. So it was really, really a very interesting experience. And to this day, the 2 girls that I was with, they actually contacted me on Facebook just recently. For some reason, I was thinking of them, and they must have been thinking of me too. And so they were like, "Oh my gosh, do you remember the UFO sighting?" And I was like, "Yeah, definitely. That's something you never, ever, ever forget." So that was like one of my experiences that I had with learning about UFOs. And so I'm a firm believer that we have, these beings are there and they are absolutely with us. And I don't know what else to say except for that. So as we move forward, the other parts of this story is that when I was living at the farm, I kept on getting like a ringing in my ear, which I already kind of have from several concussions from riding horses, but I still have, it was like a higher pitched ringing, and it was really bizarre, and I felt dizzy. And when I was journaling every single day, it was like, look up, look up, look up. And so I was like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean look up? And I was going through a divorce at the time, so I wasn't really, comprehending all of everything that was happening. So I went and got a massage from a friend of mine, and she's really intuitive. And so we were talking about this, and it turned out that it was a being from another planet. And it was from the galaxy of Andromeda. And it was really, really interesting because later on, I was able to, while I was getting the massage, I was, kind of communicating with them, but I couldn't really, get the whole picture. So I got in my truck and I was driving home down the interstate, and all of a sudden it was like, you and I are talking right now. Well, I can't hear you, but you know what I mean. Where I could hear him plain as day. And he said his name was like, syllables. So he's like, made noises. And I was like, well, then I'm sorry, I don't know what to call you. And he said, call me Tut, like King Tut. And so ever since then, I've been in contact with this being that's on Andromeda and is an Andromedan. And apparently we have been friends in our past lives, and we know each other quite well. So checked in with him today on some things about Andromeda, just a little bit more information about Andromeda, so that we get, kind of like a clear picture of what's coming up for them. They're a little bit elusive, the Andromedans are. So we have a being from Andromeda that wants to speak, and that is Tut. That's his name. And then we have a being from the Blue Avians, which we'll talk to them. And then last, we're going to talk about the Anunnaki. Now, the Anunnaki are very, very important to get to today because they're the whole reason for this show today is the Anunnaki. They want to talk with us and let us know that they want to help us, because they're getting a little bit of a bad rap right now. So kind of like the mermaids when we had our last show. The mermaids wanted to redeem themselves as well and let us know that they're all about goodness and grace and love. So we'll get started with the Andromedans. So the Andromeda Galaxy is the nearest galaxy to us. Now, our galaxy is the Milky Way galaxy. I had to look all of this up because I'm not a scientist, but I've been learning quite a bit about all of this, and it's really kind of fun, actually. So Andromeda Galaxy is huge. It has trillions of stars, just so you know. And our Milky Way galaxy also has, I think billions, they said, or something like that. So the Andromedan Galaxy is huge, obviously, and abundant with a lot of life and a lot of beings. And they said that they are very diversified. So they go from like lower level beings to like, very high dimensional beings. And some of those beings have wings, which is really a lot of fun to talk about. So they're diversified just like Earth. You can sort of relate it to Earth, where we have all different colors and creeds and ideas and, the way we all look very different. And so it's just like that in the Andromeda Galaxy. They all don't look the same. And so that makes it kind of fun. They also said that they are a loving race that enjoys humor. Now, I can tell you that because I thought that when he called himself Tut, I thought that was pretty funny that he said he was named Tut, as in King Tut. So it was kind of just really funny. They are one of the oldest races. So they're like one of the oldest galaxies out there, the one that's closest to us. And they continue to help us with all of our needs as much as they can. Now, they obviously can't help us all the time with everything because they're not supposed to. We are here to learn our own lessons, obviously. So, we can only get as much help as they can, as they are allowed to, I should say. They're the ones that are in the ships above us right now. And then they're helping with sending healing light and energy to all. They are closest to us and look more human because of that. And we will meet them in the very near future. After things calm down and become more clear, they're going to, be embodied so that we can actually recognize them and see them and meet them and be with them. And they said, we will see them in the skies more clearly soon so they can slowly be recognized so that they can come on in, and formally sort of, show themselves to us so that we can accept them with grace and honor and peace. So that'll be really, really cool. So I'm excited that we'll be able to meet these beings in the future sometime because that's going to be a lot of fun. So the next beings are the Blue Avians. Now, the Blue Avians are beings that have never really existed here on Earth. They're very high dimension, like extremely high, I guess from like the 7th to the 9th dimension. And they do have wings as well. They're considered angels or angelic beings, and they're blue. And they all look the same. So from what I've learned from the description of them and what I've seen in my own mind's eye is that they're very tall and thin, and that they love, they're just all about love, like truly love. And they are bird-like. That's how they present themselves, is more bird-like because they're very etherical and blue, like a lot of blue. But they're mostly, I think that when they show themselves, of course, they're going to embody themselves into like a solid body as well, just because that's how we can relate to like the reality of things. We have a hard time with just seeing like balls of light and wondering if that's really real or if it's not real, that type of thing. So for our own mind's eye and for our being, human, these beings will start to embody and show themselves as real. So right now, they're energetically, because they're not in a body, because they don't need to be. Blue Avians are such high dimension. So they are here energetically to help create the peace we need right now to flow into the next energy world that is coming up. So they're creating peace, the energy of peace is what they're doing. They're not, influencing humans. They're just influencing the energy that's around us to keep us calm, quiet, and, and just happy, pretty much is what it comes right down to. So peace creates happiness, right? I think so too. There is a lot of new energy being presented in the world right now. So things are getting more complicated. They are here to help maintain the peace, loving energy that is being passed on. To help us remember we are multidimensional and will soon be able to understand this concept more clearly. As we move into the next world, they will make themselves known as well. So they're going to, once again, become, they're going to actually show up just like all the others eventually as well, just so that they can present themselves, because we are all one. Don't forget that. And as we expand, you can actually tap into their energies and recognize each one individually. But until we can kind of like get to that point, they have to kind of stay away for a little while. So what was the name of them again? Crystal Evereeks. Crystal, they're Blue Avians. So you have the Andromedans, and then you have the Blue Avians, and it's Avians, from what I understand. That's how that's spelled, I think. But or at least that's how I spelled it. So anyway, so they're really cool beings too. Really, really neat. Like I said, higher dimensional beings that have never really existed. Now they say that Ra and Thoth are two of the rulers of Egypt, and they say that they embodied or used the Blue Avians energy, and that's more than likely true. They also, dress themselves in the bird head and the bird, to present themselves as these Blue Avians. And the Blue Avians are also working close together with the archangels that we have that are in the sky. So they were, back in the day, they were considered angels as well, because they were beings of light. So as we move forward, this is going to be really excited. Okay, so this is the Anunnaki. Now the Anunnaki are really, really neat, because when you read about them, as you learn more and more about Anunnaki, there's a lot of negative connotations with the Anunnaki, because they apparently, they basically created us, is what is being said. So they created us as humans, and we were actually experiments. So I'm just going to keep talking right now. So they're said to have created us in the very beginning of time. Now, for me, and I'm really excited about this, because from the mermaids and the dolphins and the whales coming in through the Adriatic Sea. Remember how we said that there was like a portal, right? That was there. Well, there's portals all over, the earth, everywhere. And so eventually we should be able to travel wherever we need to go, just like they travel to come see us. But in the meantime, the Adriatic Sea is somewhere that's sort of, I don't know, it kind of gives you like more of a mind's eye, where there definitely is one, according to the dolphins and the mermaids. So it's kind of fun, that we know that there's one there. And there's also a portal that goes down into center Earth as well. So you have center Earth, and then you go straight up. And this one's connected to, or at least they are connected to Sirius C. Now, the Anunnaki said that this origin of us is going back even before before Lemuria and Atlantis. Like, it went way, way, way back. And what they did was they had created us to mine gold. Now, when they created us, and this is like the problem, is that, they're being blamed for using us for enslavement and all of these other words, that just simply aren't necessarily true. Because when you have an experiment, right, you don't necessarily know how it's going to go. And so that's basically what happened here. So the plan was an embodiment of the plan, meaning that they had an idea that this would work, and then it went into like a free flowing, so that it created itself. So we basically created ourselves and became who we are by ourselves, not by ourselves, but because of ourselves. And so what they did with this experiment was they gave us, and this is so cool, they gave us freedom. They gave us the freedom to have self-empowerment and free will. Now that's a big thing right there. So granted, we were made to mine gold, but when we were put on this earth to mine gold, and this is what they want to get clear, is that we still had a choice to become and do whatever we wanted. So I'm going to give you a story, another story to kind of explain what I'm talking about. So if you have a child and you have a company and you put your child into that company, say you have a son and you want your son to work for you in this company, and you created this company. And so now you want him to work for you in this company to keep the company going, to keep it within the family, to have all of this kind of stuff. But your son has other ideas because why? He has free will. He can do whatever he wants, whenever he wants, and however he wants because of who he is. And so he's decided that now he has these other skills. This other skill is going to take him to do something else. And so he's chosen not to be, in the company anymore. So now he has self-empowerment because now he could say, hey, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to move forward and do something else that suits me better. And so that's basically what happened to us here on Earth. And I know it's like a really simple way to explain it, but that is the best way I can kind of explain what happened. And so the Anunnaki want us to know that they didn't necessarily enslave us completely, like where we were, given no choice. We actually had a choice. And so this is where we are today. Obviously, if we were not having a choice, we would all still be mining gold and still be, not having this free will to explore other avenues and to learn more about ourselves and all of our gifts that we came to Earth, with. And then as time evolved, we became more evolved, which is really fun and cool. And so our souls, kept evolving over and over again and became, so we were starting to learn more lessons and starting to create more for our souls so that we could expand. And so things are just wonderful right now for all of us in real time. And so it's the best time to be alive, just so you know. And it's going to be a lot of fun in the future to see what happens with all of these beings that I can't wait to see what's going on. Oh, I forgot to explain one thing. So the Anunnaki, and this is how I interpret them when I look at them. And my friends keep saying I need to start drawing again. And yeah, I probably do. So I'll start drawing in the future at some point. But in the meantime, the Anunnaki, the way that I see them is that they have very, very dark skin and they look like bodybuilders, really, really beautiful, beautiful bodybuilders that, and I see mostly male with the Anunnaki. And I was actually at a friend's house, Melissa's house, actually. You guys know Melissa. She has a show here. And yes, black, exactly. And that's how I see them, as black. But I see them with silver wings. And so the silver wings are getting brighter. And this is what's really, really cool, is that as their silver wings are getting brighter, they're getting brighter because we are starting to forgive them, as in the show today, for what we thought was an atrocity that was done to us when it really wasn't. You get what I'm saying? So I believe that the more that we understand, our own evolution of time and not blame others for what's happening, but actually to take into consideration that we've always had free will and that this is who we are, and that that we need to take responsibility for ourselves to a degree. There are some things that happened and this is just all part of it. But look at where we are today in a beautiful, beautiful world, and things are shifting and changing for the better. And eventually we get to meet all of these beautiful beings. But in the meantime, just a little bit more on the Anunnaki. They, back in the day, they were considered the fallen angels because of these beautiful wings and being on the blacker side and having that those big, huge, dark wings, instead of the white wings and all of that type of stuff. So, but gosh, they really are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful beings, and they're full of love. So much full of love. They really want us to progress and to be everything that we are supposed to be. So that brings me forward into this new thing that we're supposed to be. I'm really excited about this too. So I've been learning a lot about where we're going from here because of these beings helping us. And I love it. It's so much fun. So I actually was talking with Melissa this morning about it. And what we think and what the Anunnaki were saying is that everything is going to start to shift and change. So we're going to go into this new bodies or embodiment of, we're going to be able to like basically teleport wherever we want to go. You know, I keep on seeing or hearing Pegasus, and you know, for me, that's a flying horse. Well, flying horse in another realm though, not an airplane. So we are going to be able to fly, but not necessarily, you know, like a bird here on Earth, but we'll be able to go from planet to planet and travel through these portals and, you know, learn more about this multi-dimensional world that we live in. We'll be able to go visit. I'll be able to visit Tut on Andromeda, which would be so cool, you know, because he's my good friend, obviously, which I haven't really met him in person yet. Actually, I had a conversation with him today and asked him if he could just kind of, you know, show up and say hi and shake my hand. But he said he would eventually, but not now because it's not time yet. So I do want to give you one more thing before I forget. It's basically a message, and it's really, really cool. And the message comes from what I understand, everybody who is here today. So there's 3 different beings, you know, types of beings that are here with us. And we'll talk more. I really want you guys to ask questions and all of this kind of stuff. But so anyway, so I'm going to give you the message, and then y'all can kind of let me know what you think. So information, this is their message, okay? So information is being withheld because there is more than can be understood right now. Your president is one of us, and he is showing the world the power they have over themselves. Allowing for the atrocities to happen also helps the world learn. Hence, the experiment, free will, and judgment. Now is the time for all of you to understand your own power, that you are multidimensional and can literally do anything with your brain power now. So take the time to expand so that when the time comes, you can fly instead of just walk. You can create instead of worry and sit still. You can become instead of just wishing. The way will be shown soon. So for right now and into the future, expand. Start to realize the magic so you can recognize your gifts. And then they said, see you soon. So that was their message from the star people to us. And I just thought it was so lovely and beautiful at the same time. I'm really, really excited about this. So does anybody have any questions? I'm going to start reading our little chat here. So we've got, let's see here. We've got, oh, I don't know. What was that? So 45 is back. I'm not sure what was that. What was what? Ask that question again. And then, let's see. Hello. Let's see. People think I'm crazy when I talk about other beings. I'm glad you talk about it. You're a great teacher. Oh, thank you. That's sweet, Robin. I know my family is not very, they think I'm a little crazy too. So I totally understand, but we can all stick together here. Did you guys see my shirt? Look it. I wore my star shirt because we're talking to star people. I thought that was pretty clever. So anyway, so yeah, so 45 is back. Hi, hello. And she says, I fly all the time in my dreams. I know, I do too. I've had such a great time in my dreams lately. It's been so much fun because when you open up and expand and just allow things to happen, then it becomes easier in life for everyone. And, but gosh, it's hard to just sit still and allow. That is definitely not an easy thing to do because of all of the, the information that's coming in. And of course, judgments and parents and, friends that tell you that you need to be doing something more so with your life or whatever it is. But you yourself honestly have gifts. Every single one of us has a gift of some sort that we can bring forward into the world, if not many, 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 many gifts. And finding that, figuring out your gifts is so important because that helps with your expansion. And it also helps the world expand as well. So you are not only helping yourself, you really are helping everybody around you and everything around you, so it's so amazing. So Lillian, you said blue avians, right? Yes, blue avians. And they're beautiful, by the way, gorgeous. And on the internet, I've been seeing a lot of pictures of people taking pictures of just light. Oh, I forgot about our pictures. We're going to have to put those up too. I'm so excited. I got right into the Anunnaki because they really wanted to speak. So, okay, so you said that the star people are from Atlantis. No, they're not from Atlantis. They're actually from different galaxies. Star people are from different galaxies, but I'm just saying that the Adriatic Sea has that, and that's where I think Atlantis originated, was right there at the Adriatic Sea. I believe that Atlantis was there, and so was Lemuria. That's what I believe, because that's where the portal was open for the mermaids and the dolphins and the whales to come in, and they came in at the beginning. So, so it's all of that. So it's really, 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 really cool. So, so star people from Atlantis. So love my star shirt. I love your star shirt. It caught my attention before you mentioned it. Thank you. I know it's really fun. And then Robin says, I have a hard time sitting still. I had to stop listening to negative family and friends. Yeah, I got to tell you, to sit still, and I've been talking about this a lot on the show when we did the, there was another show that we did just recently on Saturday, and it was the, where we give readings, and it's a lot of fun, you guys, you should try it. But, so the, when I was on the show, there was a lot of, people that when I was doing the readings that Wu Wei came up, and Wu Wei is such a cool thing. It is so, so, so cool. It is really, really fun and really, really cool. And you just sit. So it's like, it's an easy fun. And I love it because when I can get there for myself, it really helps me receive information. And so it's very, very interesting. And I get, you all know, because I, developed the show from all of the information that I'm receiving, I get a lot of information from a lot of different beings, from animals to obviously the star people, and then, everything else in between. So it's been so much fun and really opened my eyes up to a lot of different beings. And so I'm positive that everybody can do this for sure. And we talked about how you do it, right? With telepathy and with the entrainment. So you can ask with your heart, or you can ask with your mind, whichever way, because the telepathy is a mind-to-mind connection, and then entrainment is the heart-to-heart connection. So you can get information both ways. And like I said, with talking with the Andromedan friend of mine, Tut, we talk telepathically. So I can hear him clear as day, as if we were speaking to each other. So it's really, really fun, to do that too. And don't think you're crazy, because you can ask questions and write them down. That's another thing. Write everything down so that way you don't forget, the information that you're receiving. I tend to not write when I'm talking to Tut, like earlier today, but I try to keep, I just try to keep the conversation rolling, but I still try to remember what he said afterwards. So it's really, really cool. So, yeah, I have to have connection first to get light. Yeah, that is true. You can get, some people do, well, you do have to have a connection. I mean, that's the whole purpose of the whole thing. You do have to have a connection, and people connect in all different ways. Some people connect through meditation. The Wu Wei is how I connect, which is what I was telling you guys about. It's so awesome. You will love it. So it says, nice to know about the Anunnaki because there seems to be a lot of negative info going around about them. Makes sense that our changing perception about them would help elevate them as well. Yes, exactly. And that is why they're coming. What can we do to connect with them? I'm trying to figure out my gifts. I have a lot of random things coming in lately. That's normal, by the way. The random things coming in is definitely normal. I have the same thing. The art of Wu Wei will help you get a little bit more, and you can ground yourself. And that is so cool. You're absolutely right about the Anunnaki. I mean, that is the whole reason for this show today. They actually came in during last week's show, and I wanted to make sure that I gave the information correctly and with full understanding of why they wanted to be presented to the world on this show. And so I'm so happy that my message was clear for you to get. So thank you so much for that feedback. I really appreciate it. So Robin says, I keep seeing spaceships that look like stars. The ships are hanging around Earth. Other beings are waiting to ascend onto Earth. They are here to help. I know what you say to be true. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm glad you feel the same way. That is really cool. And yeah, they are. And it's so neat that they say that they're going to see us soon. I mean, at the end of this here, they said, see you soon. I just think that's so cool. So Lillian says, I have connected recently with an Andromedan who refers to herself as my star mother. Very, very cool connection. Oh, that's awesome, Lillian. Now, do you speak to her through telepathy? Is that how you hear her? Or does she talk with you in a dream? Or how does this work for you? I'm just curious, because when I talk to Tut, it's real time. And remember how I spoke with you all earlier about sensing whether or not it was, another realm, which would be like a dragon or a unicorn, or if it's real and it's in this time, like the mermaids were in this time. And so they do live with us in the ocean right now. So it's really interesting. And I know that your star mother definitely lives in this time right now, but I'm just curious if you get that same sensation when you're talking to her. So I have lots of squirrels in my brain. Oh, yeah, definitely. So I must write things down so I can remember. Oh, you're telling me. I'm serious about that. I've got, as you can see, I get a little chaotic on my show sometimes. So it's kind of funny. So Wu Wei is spelled, just so you know, Anna, is W-U. And then I think it's W-E-I. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that we had that before. Maybe Tiffany can put that up on the screen for you so that you can do it. So yeah, just Google it though. It's W-W-U W-I-E, I think. And that's really cool. Oh, that's cool too. So 45 is back, says, I followed you. I get your message. Wish I could go in depth, but another time. Yes. And believe me, you'll have so much fun. Oh, there it is. Wu Wei is spelled. Okay. She put it on all of it, Facebook, and awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. So Robin McGuire says, I can relate to the squirrel brain. Yeah, of course. And then Lillian says, she came to me in a couple meditations. So I started to ask questions, and it's been telepathic. Yeah, isn't that cool how you can do that with them? I mean, it's like, I don't know. I just love it. I mean, it's so amazing. And I'm so happy that you get the same connection. The Andromedans do not get spoken about very often. Like, you don't see a lot of information about them or channeling and stuff like that from people because they just don't get the attention. So in this show today, there were 3 beings that wanted, to be acknowledged for sure, so that we understood that they're also part of, the whole process of Earth's shift. And, once again, that's the Anunnaki, which you can look up for yourself. And now you know that they're good and that they actually want us to be successful and help us out with everything now, especially with love and grace and peace. And then there's the Blue Avians, who are very, very high dimensional beings, amazing beings. And they're more energetic. Like, I don't see them embodiment very much, but then when you do hear of them being in a body, they're more bird-like. They have bird feathers and they're blue and all of that, and they all look the same. And then the Andromedans, they're very different. They're like us, very diversified. And so there's a bunch of, different types and styles and, everything. And the higher ups, from what I understand, the really high dimensional Andromedans have wings, which is so cool, right? So, it's really interesting. And I thought this was kind of fun is that, and I was talking to Melissa about this too, is that YAs, like, think about this. So it's Anunnaki, right? And then Avians are, because they're blue, but they're still Avians. And then you have, the Andromedans. And so I'm just curious, it's kind of interesting when you think about words and the meaning behind them, or letters in this case, YAs, does that mean that they're higher beings or older beings? Because the Andromedans are older. They're like one of the oldest. So it's just kind of interesting, to kind of, it's fun. It's just fun to think about different things when it comes to all of this. So Crystal says, I can feel angels and ascended masters if I call them in, but I can't fully determine who is who yet. I just have physical senses and some emotions. Really want to develop it more with more clarity. Need to start trying to bring in star people. Yeah, star people are here now. So that's the reason why you probably have a little easier time with them, because they are, once again, in this time. And so so that telepathy is easier. So it's like talking to a tree. It's much easier to talk to a tree, much easier to talk to another being that's here on the planet that you can actually see. And the Andromedans, they really, really want us to start communicating with them once again, because they're closest to us. They are really physically closest to us. Their galaxy is the closest to our galaxy, which is the Milky Way galaxy, which was so much fun to learn about. I'm telling you, I'm really loving this show because I am learning so much right along with all of you. So I want to make sure that I get these pictures up because these are so cool. And y'all can let me know what you think about this. Like, this is fun. All right. So then Crystal says, I had an angelic light language come through recently, very high vibrational. And then, well, yeah, everybody. Well, 45 is back, says all Black people you can talk to as well. Yes, well, we talk to everybody and everything. It doesn't matter what it is, and some of them are blue in this case. Okay, so look at this picture. All right, so I'm going to tell you the story. This is so much fun. So last year, I went on a river cruise in Russia, and that was a once in a lifetime thing for me. So I was so excited to be able to do it. A friend of mine actually had, yeah, I do hear that bird, Melissa. Anyway, so I went on this cruise, and it was in Russia, and I just loved it. It was so much fun. And so anyway, so I was out on the deck at sunset, and I was taking pictures. Now, I did not see this in the picture until after the picture. So these pictures are taken. These are my pictures, you guys, not anybody else's pictures. And so anyway, so see what you get. Now, we think that it might be a portal because, see, the star people, they can actually come through light to come into Earth's atmosphere. Now, this is the first picture, and so it's basically just one. Now, these pictures were taken in succession, so you can see, so there's just one there now. Now we're going to go to the next picture, and now there's two. So you can see that there's two there, which is really, really cool. Now, get this. This is really fun. Now there's, how many did we say? We said 7. And all these pictures are taken in succession. Can you believe it? Look at the one at the very top. That one, Tiffany will blow it up for us so we can see it. But oh my gosh, you guys, what an incredible experience to see this, over. And like I said, it was all taken in succession. I was like turning the camera as I was like going. That's why you see the balcony there. But oh my gosh, I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. So what do you all think of that? Lillian says she thought the bird was outside my window. And then Robin says, thank you, Stacey and Tiffany, for a great show. I am at a job. We'll finish watching later. I love you all. After the pictures, I have pictures also. Oh, that's so cool. I know the pictures are so much fun. And like I said, I did not even see that those beings or whatever they are were in the picture. And so it was so much fun. I saw it later and I thought, oh my gosh, that is so cool. And yeah, they do. They look just like lights on a saucer. So probably, some sort of flying saucers. And I'll tell you, over there, nobody really looks up at the sky, so they can fly around, and nobody will notice, I guess. I'm not sure, but I just thought it was so amazing to see these beings of light in the sky like that. So there are portals everywhere, and it is something to keep in mind as you're traveling around the country or traveling around the world, and just recognize that, that's how these star people are coming in and going back out. Some of them do live on our planet, as you already know, I'm sure, just because we have, star people all over the place, and it's really, really a lot of fun and really interesting too. A lot of fun and very, very interesting. And, so keep looking up. Keep looking up. Do not doubt yourself. And when you can, take pictures. It is so much fun, because then you can see, is that real or what is that? I want to get a telescope myself, because everybody talks about these ships in the sky. Like one of you had mentioned that earlier, that at night you can see like brighter stars and everything. And the sky is shifting and changing for sure. And it was really funny, because I was just recently I was journaling, and the sky was talking to me and saying that we do need to start looking up and recognizing the changes and the shifts in the sky. It's really important for us to acknowledge. And also that the sky is helping us with the energetic feeling of things as well. If you notice, we were talking earlier about how even outside, when you're looking, things are brighter and lighter. The light is much more clear. And so we are definitely going to have a lot of shifts and changes. And I hear by the end of this year, it's going to be a very interesting time for all of us. So we just have to hang in there until then, and stay positive and talk to everything, and thank everything for being here, and recognize that all and everything is going through the same shifts that we are. As humans, we're going through these shifts. We talked about how the mermaids are also shifting. We just talked about the Anunnaki. They're shifting too, which is so cool. And like I said, every time I see them, their wings are a little bit brighter. So we definitely have to keep, thanking them and appreciating everything, because once we appreciate ourselves and we appreciate everything about ourselves, then the Anunnaki can also excel too in their light beings. And that's so cool. So Robin said she's a sky watcher. I try to definitely look up a lot. I actually saw a lot of birds in the sky today. Speaking of birds that we were just talking about, there was an eagle up there, which I thought was so awesome. And he was flying around with the vultures. And the vultures are believed to be, energy clearers. So they clear the negative energy in the sky. And so I was so grateful and thanking them immensely for that, because it's a great thing to have a clear sky, right? Kimberly says, awesome pictures and information, interesting. Yes, this show is always very interesting. A lot of things come into the show, and it's definitely been a lot of fun for me too. So I'm really excited to be here. And yeah, Robin says, portals keep opening all the time. And you're absolutely right. That is so true. So hopefully one does not open though, and I walk into it accidentally. Just kidding. All right. So Kimberly says, I have noticed in September that there is always one big, huge, bright star that is hovering over my trailer's rooftop. Yeah, me too. I see this one, and it's a funny looking shape. So I want to get a telescope myself and look out there and see if it's, a star or a ship or what is that, that'd be so much fun. Linnell says, I had 2 eagles fly right over my head, and then out in the direction I was looking. It was incredible. I know, those birds are amazing. Crystal said I had 7 hawks fly around my head really low for a good 5 minutes today. Oh my gosh, girl, that's great. So 7 is a symbolic number, by the way, and I'm sure that you probably already know this, but I'm going to say it out loud so everybody else can hear that 7 is God's number. And so it's a very, very important number. And so 7 is a great number to have. And then also hawks are messengers. So they bring messages, just so you know. So that's really, really cool. What a neat thing for you today. And then Robin says, yes, I look at stars all the time and looked at a star. Hang on a second. I look at star all the time and looked at it with my binoculars. It has hexagon shapes and colors, colorful lights. Oh, yeah. But see, if you get the telescope, that I had a student that was, when I had my horse farm, I had a student that had a telescope. She got it for her birthday. And she brought it out to the farm. And it was the neatest thing because we actually watched, I guess it was a baby star, just being born or something like that, she said. And it was so interesting. It was a ball of light, just fire and light. And it was just gorgeous to see through this telescope. So I would think that you could probably see even more if you got a telescope. So Kimberly says, hawks mean study spiritual stuff. Oh, good message. That's a great message. Thank you for that. Crystal, did you get that message? That's really, really cool. So awesome. Thanks a lot, Kimberly. So today we're almost out of time now, but I want to make sure that that you all know or remember that I will not be here next week, but I will be here the week after with messages from the Dolphins, which I'm thinking that that's going to be a lot of fun. They want to talk about, once again, that we are multidimensional and that we can do, be, create, and have anything and everything that we want, need, and so on and so forth, which is basically what the Anunnaki were saying as well. Actually, I shouldn't say basically, I should say exactly, because the Anunnaki are saying that to us as well, that we have freedom, self-empowerment, and lots of love from them and their support in this whole process of us becoming and being wonderful, great people. And so the dolphin definitely are kind of flowing, literally, that was good, into the picture at the, once again, in 2 weeks, because they also want to continue with this message. And I'm hoping to get more information, like how are we going to be multidimensional and how are we going to be teleported and transported and that type of stuff, and how does that all work, because it'd be kind of interesting and fun, right? And they're fun and interesting anyway. We call them the ambassadors of the sea. That's what dolphins are. And so once again, we will learn more about them not next week because I won't be here, but the week after. Now also, and thank you, Anna, she says thank you for a great show, very interesting. Crystal says, great show today. Thank you for sharing all your messages and information. Thank you. I'm so grateful for everybody being here today. The other thing that I wanted to say or mention is that for the month of November, the rest of November, which I know we only have a little bit longer, but I would like to give as a grateful, thankful message for you all. I would like to discount my readings. And so the personal readings will be $60, and then unicorn readings will be $40. So let me know if you guys want to do that. If you're on the show, it's only for people that watch the show. It's for $60 and $40. Personal readings are $60 and unicorn readings are $40. And you can contact me at Love Raspberry Light. Yep, there it is. loveraspberrylight@gmail.com if you would like a reading. Now for animal readings, we'll do the same thing. We'll do 60. They're all normally 100, just so you know. So it is quite discounted. And that is to be, actually, I might do that into December as well, just because it'd be nice for everybody to have a nice end of the year reading and learn a lot more about themselves. And of course, your unicorn, which you can get a ton of information from your unicorn, by the way. They give you information sometimes about your past lives, as well as your future, as well as what you're working on right now. So, because they know everything about you because they are you. And once again, it's fun to be able to have that being to talk to and to recognize and even to name. Yeah, they have names too, which is a lot of fun. So that'll be really cool. So once again, that'll be a discount for all of you that watch the show. at $60 for personal readings and for animal readings, and then $40 for unicorn readings. And the unicorn readings are a half an hour, and the $60 are for an hour, just so you know. And once again, like I said before, we will we'll have you guys go to loveraspberrylight.com for that, or at gmail.com for your reading. And then Robin, yeah, we can do dragons too. We can actually do anything you want. I'm going to add animal totems on, which is dragons as well, because a lot of people have dragons and they are, basically an animal totem that's with you to help you in every way possible. Dragons are amazing. In fact, I was reading about them today too, which is so funny. They want to come back in as well. We might have to throw them into like the end of a show at some point, because they've actually been asking for a while now to talk more about them and their their essence of what they are and who they are and why they are and all of that, because they've actually been super, super, super helpful here recently for all of us, helping us with our own self-empowerment. That is definitely one thing that a dragon can help you with. And so it's really cool. So Lillian says, thank you. Awesome show. We'll reach out about a reading. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. And then Crystal says, can we pin the website up here? Yes. Can we put the website up, Tiff? That'd be great. And thank you. I wish you all a very, very happy Thanksgiving. Really, really appreciate it. And I'm so excited to be here with this show and have all of you, present and having fun with me today. I mean, I had such a blast talking with you about our star friends. They're so amazing, and so happy that the Anunnaki got their message out today, because they're such beautiful, beautiful beings. And we want to make sure that we all know that they are wanting the best for us. So thank you again. And cool, my husband communicates with me through animal totems. Yes. Our people on the other side communicate with us all the time, and they are amazing too. And actually through these readings, you can definitely talk with your loved ones on the other side as well. I can do that too. I have many, many gifts, which I'm very fortunate to have. So I can help you with mostly anything, except for I don't channel like through where the people come in through me. I don't do that, but outside of that, I'm good with everything else. So, all right. Well, thank you again. Love you all. And I'm so excited about Thanksgiving. It's going to be a great, great year for all of us coming up in 2021. Just so you know, keep your hopes up. And by the end of this year, there's going to be a lot of changes. And we'll be here. This whole Goldylocks Productions will be here to help you through all of it. And recognizing new things, and it's just going to be fun, just a lot of fun. So I'm excited for everybody and myself, and I will see you in a couple weeks, 2 weeks. And once again, thank you and happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you soon.
Become a Goldylocks Productions VIP patron. Receive exclusive access to live stream special and other epic perks. Join the Goldylocks Productions VIP community today.